Your high school years will always be an important part of your life. These are the years where you fall in love for the first time with that girl in math class. These are the years where you finally get your license and start driving by yourself. These are the years where you experience your first party with your closest friends. While high school can be a time of tremendous personal growth, it is also a stage where some people reach a limit on their true potential and cease to see any development and growth in the years after high school. The most common type of person you might find that reaches their growth limit during their 4 years of high school are the popular guys and girls, the star athletes, the people who get invited to the exclusive parties, and even some of the smart kids that receive great scores in tests. These are the people that receive great recognition during their high school years, whether it's from teachers, coaches, other students, and all of this leads to inner acceptance and validation. However, as years start to go by and people move beyond their high school years, the once admired high school students start to lose their shine while they slowly sink into a life of mediocrity due to the lack of seeking improvement. This is called peaking in high school. I wasn't aware that peaking in high school was a thing until I saw it with my own two eyes. During a cold night in December, about 2 years after graduating high school, is when I received a text message from one of my closer friends from high school. He told me he was throwing a New Year's party on the 31st and mentioned that many of our old classmates were going to be there and that I should go as well. The big day finally arrived. Around 7 p.m. as the sun started to set, I got dressed and headed straight to the party. But right as I walked in through the front door, I was surprised at what I had ran into. Everyone who seemed to have the world at their fingertips in high school has changed, but in a negative way. I noticed that the once star athletes from high school were now overweight and had developed an unhealthy relationship with alcohol, and that the girls that were once seen as hot shit in high school are now not as attractive as they once were back in the day due to their partying habits. Truth be told, most people that had clout or were deemed cool or popular in high school had fallen off and looked like they've given up on life. As I made my way through the living room past the beer pong table, I came across one high school friend that looked completely unrecognizable, but in a positive way. See, the guy I bumped into wasn't really a standout student in high school. You could consider him to be one of the average students who sat quietly and did the work given to him. But it's like ever since he graduated high school, he has developed into a completely different person with his life going in a positive trajectory. And I was surprised because unlike 90% of the people at the party that look like they've given up on life, this man looked like he was living his best life. And that's when everything hit me at once. Most people after high school will ultimately fall off and go on to live mediocre lives for the rest of their existence due to the lack of wanting to seek improvement. On the other hand, only a select few will mount to the higher echelons of life and live like a king. Here's how not to peak in high school. Solidifying your identity is one of the cornerstones to perpetual growth in life. Unfortunately, in today's world, after you graduate high school, you'll notice that many people really don't have a solid identity of who they are. Yeah, during the school year, you had after school activities or sports that were part of your identity, but once you graduate, they're not there anymore. What you usually find after high school is people identifying themselves with their job, drinking alcohol, and maybe even a sports team that they support, and that's it. I'm not even kidding. Having an identity is vital for personal growth because once you actually find what you enjoy doing and partake in those activities is when you get real fulfillment. But when you don't figure out your identity, there's a very high chance you will find yourself filling up that space with destructive activities that will have your life going downhill. That is why you should diversify your interests. This is the key to building a solid identity. Most people's lives after high school are pretty similar to this. They'll wake up sleep deprived, go to their job, come home tired, crack open a beer to cool down from work, watch some TV for the rest of the night, and when bedtime comes, they go to sleep and repeat the same mundane cycle that they have grown accustomed to. No wonder why these people boast 24/7 about how good their high school days were. It's because their new lives are boring as shit. To avoid the still lifestyle, it's simple. Try new things that you've always wanted to do. If you don't enjoy it, then put that activity to the side. But once you find something you truly enjoy, apply it to your lifestyle. For example, a couple months ago, I tried playing the saxophone for a little while, but I didn't find myself fully interested in it at the time. I might come back to it, I might not. But something I've recently developed interest in is playing chess. At first, I thought it was just a simple board game that geeks would play. But as I played more, I realized that it's way more sophisticated than that. The fact that it's such a complex game with many different parts to it is what makes it interesting to me. And you must do the same thing. Find things that can be part of your identity that will ultimately build you to be a man of interest. To do that, you must be a lifelong learner. Most people will graduate high school, and that is when their learning and personal growth comes to an end. And when you're someone that stops learning, the people that continue to seek new information will run laps around you in the real world. Whether it's with success, business, or even women, The people that keep learning are just gonna have that competitive edge about them. In a rapidly changing world, you must be able to adapt to change and use the devices available to you to your advantage. Technology can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. If you use it correctly, you will be blessed with new data that will help you improve your life. But when you use it for your own instant gratification is when it can be seen as a curse that is holding you back. Not only does continuous learning in life help you with your own personal growth, but it also helps you with women. Let's say you're a person who spends 1 hour every day learning about new ways to make money, new workout routines and diet plans to implement into your life, and even spend a little time learning a new language. You will be way better off financially, physically, and culturally than someone who spends 8 hours a day scrolling on his phone like a zombie. And this is what girls ultimately find attractive. Yeah, they want someone that can provide and protect, but they also want someone that can show them a whole new world that they aren't accustomed to. You'll be surprised at how far learning will take you in life, and reading a book is a key component to this. Reading is a shortcut to whatever it is you want in life. If you want to learn about finances and wealth, read a book on it. Authors spend decades of failure and research in their own life, and condense it into a 300-page book for you to learn the lessons. It's up to you to indulge the information available. Another thing I strongly advocate for continual growth in life is to stop being a follower. Most people have built a herd mentality that keeps them following the crowd without really questioning what they're doing. And this is what keeps them at a below average level. I used to do this a couple years back. I didn't really like drinking alcohol, but every time I went out to parties, I always ended up with a drink in my hand to not be the odd one out. The funny thing is, whenever I found myself conforming to whatever it is my friends were doing at these parties, I noticed reduced gains in the gym. I would wake up with a hangover that lasted 3 days, and my motivation diminished greatly. In conclusion, when I was conforming to what everyone else was doing at these parties, it was doing damage to my own personal growth. A good quote by Earl Nightingale is, "Watch what everyone else does, do the opposite. The majority is always wrong." If you notice your friends staying up till 4 AM playing video games, do the opposite. Try going to sleep early and wake up at 7 AM and see how your life changes. Or if you notice the mass majority obsessing over an app like TikTok, do the opposite. Delete the app and see what happens to your life. On your journey to continuous growth, you will face many roadblocks that will have you peaking in high school. After looking back and connecting the dots, I fabricated 3 main roadblocks that you will face after high school, and these are what keep most people behind. After you graduate high school and move on to the other stages of life such as college, you'll literally notice how 99% of the people you are with will drink and go to parties on the weekends. Constant drinking is something a lot of people start during or right after their high school years and will do for the rest of their lives. If you see the correlation with the negative slope, then the answer should be as clear as day. There are literally zero benefits to drinking alcohol. Everything you gain from drinking alcohol is doing damage to you. Yet, everyone still does it. By steering past the roadblock of alcohol consumption and nights of degeneracy is when you will notice great growth in your life. But when you keep consuming the poison, you'll be getting fatter, dumber, and will be worse off than the person who has self-discipline in himself. To continue, another thing keeping people average are toxic people. This could be friends, family, and even your girlfriend. The people you surround yourself with determine your growth and your potential in life. If you surround yourself with negative and unambitious people, that toxic mindset will seep into your mindset and will affect your lifestyle. Just like a dark cloud blocks the sunshine, toxic people can block the blessings in your life and stop you from making progress. The final hurdle is you. You can't expect to conquer your goals and make great progress in your life without first conquering yourself. You might have dreams to do great things in life, but there's also a fear inside of you that's holding you back. Whether it's the opinion of what others think about you that's holding you back, lack of self-confidence, or minimal self-discipline, you won't get anywhere in life without conquering yourself first.